Hello, Virgo. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is my second round of videos I've done, or readings I've done for all the signs. So I hope you find them useful. If this is your second time or your second month watching, welcome back. If this is your first, I'll just let you know real quick that I do 2 readings in each video. I start with a love reading, and then I move into a more general reading for the month for each sign. So I do put my contact information in the description box down below, so if you feel like you are interested in a reading or just have general questions, please feel free to let me know. And give me one more shuffle, and then we'll go ahead and move into your love reading for December 2015. Here we go. Page of Wands, 6 of Wands, 7 of Cups, 8 of Cups, 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, your Knight of Swords, and your 7 of Wands. Okay, Virgo. It's very interesting. You have a lot of wands in this reading. Page 6, 9, 7. So to me, that indicates a lot of movement, a lot of action for you this month. I'm going to start with this 7 of Cups, which indicates you are being faced with a lot of options. A lot of things are coming into your heart, a lot of options, a lot of choices, and some good, some bad. You know, there's always an infinite number of options when we decide to take a new path, which it kind of sounds, or it kind of is looking like one of your options, or the option that maybe you're drawn to the most, is like moving on from something. And this 8 of Cups, so it goes from a 7 to an 8. And when you have your 8 of Cups, you know, moving on from a 7 where you have so many options and so many things put before you, you know, sometimes it can just be a little bit overwhelming with your 7. You know, it's very overwhelming. And sometimes the best path is the one that's, you know, unexplored. You know, here you're leaving your options, you're leaving your choices, you're leaving your comfort zone, your everything that you have been working for and accomplished, and you are turning around and forging your own path in a moonlit, dark, scary looking terrain. This is, you know, maybe a little bit of a card of sacrifice, even leaving things behind in order to acquire more. You have a lot of blessings. You had a lot of options, a lot of things that were being placed right before you, and you're choosing to perhaps leave those behind in search of something better, in search of something more. A decision that you do not take lightly, a decision that you do not just, it's not something you just pick up and leave. It's perhaps something that has been building for a while, that has been weighing very heavily on your shoulders, and is cause for a lot of sadness, a lot of anguish, a lot of frustration, a lot of sleepless nights. And, you know, these swords take a long time to acquire. It kind of seems like maybe this has been a long time coming. And these swords are going to take a while to leave as well. And sometimes when we make a decision and we decide to go our own way and, you know, take the blessings that we have been given by, whether it's things we've done ourselves, whether they've been given to us by other people, or, you know, by the grace of God or the universe, turning our back on those is not always easy. And it doesn't necessarily mean we're snubbing anybody or we're not, you know, giving them the middle finger or anything, but it is a choice that we are consciously making because we feel that there's just more out there for us. So on to maybe some lighter topics, I guess, if you will. I feel as though you may have been presented, or maybe something came into your life that is like a new passion, like something new and wonderful came into your life, something new and a little bit lighthearted, something, you know, that's you sort of transforming into someone else a little bit, you know, not completely, not entirely, but there is something that may have come into your life or is going to come into your life, that's just gives you a little bit of a spark, gives you sort of that skip in your step, you know, that feeling of curiosity, that feeling of like of just happiness in general. And this may have come into your life by way of another person, or it could just be something that you, like a new interest or a new hobby, something that you kind of are taking a little bit seriously. And let's see, you just have so many wands in this. It's interesting. And you have like the 7 and the 9 of wands. And the 9 of wands is, you know, kind of being, it's right next to your 9 of swords. So, and the swords are kind of pointing toward this 9 of wands. And it just seems like you're kind of maybe standing up for yourself a little bit. That by going through this process of sacrificing, and I don't want to really use that word, I don't think that's the best word, but just finding a new path, going about on a new journey. And this could maybe even mean like actually moving locations. You know, maybe you are considering relocating. But, you know, oftentimes we have a lot of external naysayers, people in our life that might kind of be attacking us a little bit and saying, well, you know, well, you should be doing this and you should be doing that, and why are you doing that this way? And, you know, here you are kind of defending yourself against these external forces, people or things or obstacles that come in your way, and you are actively fighting those off. Come here, Duncan. Come on. And successfully you are, and you are, you know, doing it courageously too. And here is that sense of even protecting the things that you've built, protecting these even new passions or these new endeavors, these new actions that you are wanting to take. And not only are you defending it, but you are protecting it as well. And I think there's something very important that has come into your life. I feel as though it is maybe not so much a person as it is more of just like a new spring in your step. Like something is causing you to feel a little bit happier, a little bit more whole maybe. But and it is causing, well, it is like something that is important to you, that is coming into your life, that is kind of like maybe a feeling of victory for you, a feeling of like finally the pieces are coming together. Finally, I'm going to be that there's something that I really genuinely care about in my life. Not to say that you don't have things, like if you have a family, obviously, I'm not accusing you of not loving your family or anything like that. That's not really what I'm saying. But something that gives you a new renewed sense of life, a new renewed sense of your purpose in this world. And sometimes when good things come into our life, we are forced to kind of go through that phase of like, well, do I want to change my career? Do I want to move? Do I want to go with this person, or do I want to be with that person? Does this situation make sense for me? And I mean, we all have infinite number of options every single day. We're always making decisions. We're always making choices. And sometimes, when something good comes into our life, it makes us go through that period of evaluating those choices and what really makes the most sense. And, and sometimes to follow the path or to follow our heart. This energy is very much someone that follows his heart. He's kind of a visionary, a transformative energy, where we might be going through some sort of transformation internally. And by having to give up these blessings and these things, like I said before, that is a big transformation, and there is like some decision that's being made to move on. And I mean, but it's not a light decision. It is a heavy one, and it is a big deal, and it will affect the outcome of our life. And the reason why I say that is because you have this Wheel of Fortune here, and it's directly underneath this Eight of Cups, this decision to move on, this decision to forge a new path. And by doing so, things will come to fruition for us. That's the essence of the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel is a cycle. It spins. It's constantly, moving. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, and it's, pointing in a new direction every moment. And things do, if we are a good person and we do this with, good intentions, and we do this very, very consciously, which it seems like it is a very conscious decision. We do these things consciously, and, things will come back to us. Now, I am seeing a presence here. Again, with the presence of the wands, so many wands, there is that element of taking action and making things happen. And while those, with the 7 and 8 of Cups, it's a little bit more of an emotional decision, in a love reading, it could mean moving on from a relationship. It could mean moving on from a potential partner that could have been, quite wonderful for you, but you just don't quite feel like that's right. And, I'm seeing this Knight of Swords here has a very like aggressive energy. A Knight of Swords, an air sign, potentially, Aries, or no, I'm sorry, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. I don't know why I always forget the air signs. I always think of them as fire. But anyway, so this type of energy that's very hasty, moving forward, doesn't necessarily think before they speak. And I'm almost getting the sense that you are being, like someone is trying to push you or trying to get you to hurry up and make a decision, and that might kind of push you over the edge, which doesn't give you enough time to really deal with all of these decisions and all these choices that you have in front of you. And by pushing you, you may just decide to just leave. Kind of, throw your hands up and leave. And not necessarily because you wanted to, but maybe because you weren't exactly ready to face the music, or quite ready to move on in a new phase in a relationship. I do get the sense that this Knight of Swords represents a partner or a potential partner, and someone that is like aggressively trying to get you, maybe as an example, to commit. Like, I want to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend. I want to be your partner. Let's move forward. Come on, come on, come on. And they're pushing you, and it's driving you away. I do get the sense that they are the cause of these swords here. This decision to move on. And this sort of mental anguish. It's not that you don't want to. Maybe you do, but you just were kind of waiting for the right time. But because they were so aggressive, and because they were so like adamant about getting an answer from you, that you just had to give them an answer just because you weren't ready. And it's not necessarily the answer that they want. And I see this defensiveness kind of going with their energy as well, that they are sort of defending their stance and their interest in you and what they want, and they are also protecting the things that they've built and the things that they have in their life, and they are but they're just doing so in a way that's causing you to sort of shut down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the outcome card here. Oh. Okay, one more. Okay. The Knight of Cups. So this Knight of Swords, I see almost immediately it is the same energy. This Knight of Swords here, and even its Knight, they're equal level, will be offering you some romantic offer. And I do get the sense that that might be why this level of haste that they're kind of like pushing towards, they're like trying to get you to do something. There is a romantic offer on the table, and that's one of your choices. But I get the feeling that you aren't going to accept. You know, maybe this isn't the right person for you. Maybe this isn't the idea that you had. Maybe it's not the type of partnership that you had in mind for yourself. And while this might be a good person, and it might be someone that, you know, is quality, someone that is kind and gentle and intelligent, maybe a little bit, you know, quick to act, but it doesn't mean you don't care about them or you don't care about them in their life. It just means that maybe it's not right for you. And, you know, this Wheel of Fortune can apply to them as well. You know, that might not be right for you, but they will get some good news as well. They will get something will come around for them, maybe in a romantic capacity. It might not be you, but it will be someone. You know, we all get, the wheel is always turning and things always come back to us and they are always moving forward. And things do come to fruition. And, you know, if we do decide to move on and we do decide to leave things behind, you know, it will work out for the best with the presence of this card here. So very interesting reading for you, Virgo. Very interesting reading. So I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to shuffle these and then I'm going to turn it back on and we'll do the general. Okay. Okay, here we go. So I have been shuffling for several minutes. More for the general energies for Virgo, December 2015. One more and then we'll be done. Okay, here we go. High Priestess, the Moon, Three of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Judgment, Page of Cups, Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the Tower. All right, Virgo. I feel as this is almost an identical reading. This happened with Leo as well. Sometimes when there are very strong energies, it doesn't matter if it's a love reading or a general reading. If those are the themes of your life at that point in time, they're going to show up in both readings. Now, that does not always the case. You know, when we do a love focus reading, sometimes it's a lot heavier, especially if, you know, that person or that sign has a lot of career stuff going on, then the general will be very different. And I have had a couple of those types of readings. However, for you this month, I see so much happening in your heart, so much happening in the ways of, you know, even sorrow and, you know, like reassessment and following that intuition, but also opportunities for you in your career and your passions and the things that you're maybe pursuing. Again, you know, I feel as though there is a lot of internal, like sadness happening for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. I'm seeing this Page of Cups, which, again, and I'm going to actually probably be referencing that love reading a lot in this because it is so similar. This is that Knight of Cups energy, that Knight of Swords energy, that someone in your life that is making you an offer, a romantic offer that is genuine and loving and comes maybe in like ways that you weren't necessarily expecting them to come. And that offer is maybe not exactly what you had in mind. Like here I have your Three of Swords, that idea of a heartbreak, the idea of a little bit of sorrow and grief, and like not understanding your heart and not understanding why you feel a certain way, and not understanding maybe why this person or why this offer isn't good enough or isn't quite what you wanted. With the presence of your Seven of Pentacles here, you know, this is the card of reassessment. It's you have been working, you have been doing your thing, you have been like moving forward, and now you're coming to a point in your life where you are stepping back and you're taking a look at everything you've done and everything you've accomplished and asking yourself, is it good enough? Is it what I want? You know, you're here at a 7. You're not an 8. You're not a 9. You're not a 10. You're at a 7. And that level, while you have a lot, you seem to be feeling that it's not enough. That what they are offering is at a level 7. What they are giving you or what they're telling you or how they're making you feel is not this overwhelming, jumping for joy, super happy, I love you and everything's amazing type of feeling. I see a lot of uncharted territory here. You have like your High Priestess with the Moon and the Moon cards side by side, 2 major arcana reinforcing one another. Means this is the time to follow your heart and to go through this period of reassessment and take it very seriously, because through that mindset and being in that that frame of mind enables you to be open to that very still small voice of our subconscious and to listen to what it's telling us and to take action on that. This High Priestess, though, is definitely just that idea of recognizing what it is our hearts and our true desires really are. And this Moon, this is more of on the internal side, and this Moon indicates that, you know, unknown, mysterious territory that we've never experienced before. You know, maybe turning down this offer is a scary thing, because maybe this offer is security and financial security. Maybe it's maybe it's a beautiful thing. And by rejecting that, you know, you face questions like, will I ever have someone like this in my life again? Will I actually meet someone better? Will I be able to do better for myself? Could I make this life happen for myself? And those are questions that you don't necessarily have the answers to, but that you're facing. And by rejecting someone or by turning someone down, you are then, you know, that responsibility is then placed on your shoulders. you might be finding yourself, well, I'm going to move down here actually, with your Three of Pentacles, which is, for me, the card of new opportunity in terms of work. It's taking everything that you've done, your portfolio, your resume, the past work experiences, the past things that you've created, card of creativity, things that you have created, and leveraging those into new opportunities. And those are things that you have to do yourself. Those are things that are based on your performance and your abilities and your skill set. And those are the things that make the life that we want. And while this person may have been offering us a lot, you might be going through during this assessment phase, okay, what do I need to do to be able to create that for myself? And what do I need to be able to do to get everything I want and not be reliant upon someone else? And it seems like those are questions that you might not necessarily be prepared to answer. You have your Eight of Swords, the mental barriers that we set for ourselves, those mental roadblocks that we place in front of ourselves. We might be feeling a little bit blinded, like we can't find our way out, like this moon here, like we can't find our way down the path. We don't know which step to take. We don't know which direction to turn. We can't see. We can't, we're bound. We're mentally constricting ourselves. And this is exhausting. This is a very tiring phase to be going through. And like I said in the last reading, these swords take time to acquire. It takes time to get these in the ground and to get so many that we feel trapped, that we feel like we can't get out, and I'm going to throw something out there. It's possible that this love connection might be related to our career, and that this person might have some influence over us. And so by hurting them, we hurt ourselves, type of idea. And, and that might be why so much mental anxiety and mental frustration is, because we might be a little bit unsure of our future. We might be a little bit unsure of, we made this decision, but how is that going to affect me in other capacities? How will a love decision affect my professional pathway? Now, in the center of your reading, you do have your Judgment card. And the Judgment card, to me, does have that air of like a personal enlightenment or a personal renaissance, if we will, sort of coming out of the darkness, coming out of those unknown areas and those, these are like black, dark hole, like coffins almost, and the people are rising up and reaching out their arms and being blessed by an angel that's descending from heaven. And maybe, this heartbreak, this sorrow, this period of reassessment, these moon mysterious type of energies that are going through our minds and through our hearts, and these so many unknowns in our life, and going through this whole these mental roadblocks, and does seem like we will be sort of enlightened as to perhaps our true path, or as to our true desires. And again, that brings it back to the High Priestess, and everything that she stands for is that very secret, subconscious level that we all have, that we all possess. It's that following of your gut and not even knowing why, but going through that, and those things, and those things that we feel, becoming conscious of those things, and becoming and coming to a level of conscious understanding. And by coming to a conscious level of understanding, we are then able to take action. Which brings me to the Tower card at the end of the reading. So to have your High Priestess and your Tower card sort of bookending the reading, it's really fascinating because they are so opposite. This is something that's brewing in your heart that you might not even know or that you don't even know you feel. And then this is something that's just so fast, like a flash of lightning, something that happens that just shakes our world. And it's so prominent, so obvious, so like, here it is, and there is nothing you can do about it. Some sort of challenge, some sort of situation or scenario that just like really rattles our cage. And I feel as though this rattling of the cage is in correspondence with this person, and potentially with work opportunities as well. Now, I'm not necessarily seeing this. However, I am carrying it over from your last reading, where you had the Eight of Cups, and it's you sort of moving on and taking your own pathway, and that idea. And I'm not seeing any sort of reinforcement for that concept here, other than kind of the moon, that new path, taking the unknown terrain, unknown territory. But I feel as though something will happen in regards to this person, and potentially, in your work scenario as well. I don't know what. I'm going to pull an outcome card. Let's see what that says. One more and then we're done. The Two of Cups, that's interesting. I mean, the twos are the Two of Cups is a very peaceful energy. It is sort of, a successful communication, a meeting of the minds, an initial attraction with someone romantically, and you have your two being reinforced by the High Priestess, which is the number 2. And it is that, it is a very quiet place, and it is somewhat unexplainable. And I wish I was seeing more in with this tower here. Honestly, I'm seeing this too as really having a lot to do with this Page of Cups. You know, maybe something really happens with this person, a situation, an argument. You know, if you do, like I said, it's possible that you might work with this person. You know, there might be, you know, a conflict or something at work. But I'm seeing a peaceful resolution to that. So, whatever caused this tower to show up, whatever this conflict is, I am seeing it end peacefully, and it's sort of coming together. And even though you are not only going through this period of grief and sorrow, but maybe by rejecting an offer, you then are also causing that same level of grief and sadness and unknown terrain for them. They are going through something similar as well. And it seems to end peacefully. You know, if you do work together, you know, maybe there's not so much tension or awkwardness in the workplace. If you don't work with this person, you know, maybe you are able to remain friends. Maybe you are able to at least be on friendly terms. You know, you might not necessarily talk all the time, but at least you can maintain some level of courtesy and decency toward one another. And yeah, interesting. Very interesting energies for you this month, Virgo. I'm a Virgo, so I'm I'm very interested to see what this month has in store for us. So thank you very much for watching. Again, I do have my contact information in the box down below if you feel like reaching out. And I will be doing year 2016 readings for the year. Just general readings for each sign, probably in the middle of December. So keep your eyes open for those as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you for watching. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy to be doing this. It's so much fun for me. I just really, really enjoy it. So thank you, and I will see you next month.